Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. Good morning, welcome all of you. Namaste. The topic of the today's discussion is on soul's release from ignorance. So this is the one of the greatest topics we are going to handle today. Soul's release. Soul's release from ignorance. We will discuss it on the lights of Sri Aurobindo Savitri. How the soul of Ashwapati was released and aftermath, what happened later, what was the great spiritual change, what was almost appeared in his own paths, own sadhana, own life. So in brief, we will have a discussion on soul's release from ignorance today. Almost a great day. It is a spiritual release, spiritual experience. So, couple of lines I will try to quote on soul. Sri Aurobindo writes it, the soul is the spark of the absolute, the fiery portion of the wonderful. So, when we are going to discuss on souls, we will see we are having a soul. When it is developing, it becomes the psychic being. It is well behind the depth, behind the heart position we know. It is now almost in the veiled position. It is concealed, veiled inhabitant, permanently staying behind the heart. It is in the depths. As long as we proceed, we hope, we aspire to reach. As long as we plunge into the depths, we will having a better chance to discover the soul. Unless otherwise we have contacted the soul or psychic being, this sadhana will never be possible for anyone. For the beginning of the spiritual life, the contact with the soul is almost necessary. Without the psychic contact, nothing in this yoga is possible. Sri Aurobindo's quotes here, the soul is an eternal portion of the Supreme, and not a fraction of nature. Soul is an eternal portion of the Supreme, not a fraction of nature. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes, nothing lasts in the mind and vital, and all is a flux there. The one thing that endures is the soul, the spirit. The mind thinks and the vital craves, but the soul feels and knows the divine. Soul having the permanent, the prominency, if the soul's prominency is coming, if the purity of mind is coming to the vision, then we will be know what is the God's will and what is against it. The soul is at first but a spark and then a little flame of Godhead. The soul is at first is a spark and then a little flame of Godhead burning in the midst of great darkness. Then Sri Aurobindo speaks of, the soul is not a compound, it is an integer, harboring the brilliance of a transient soul, that lights of birth and death and ignorant life. This is the character of the soul. For that, to realize the soul, the presence of the soul, the working of the soul, Sri Aurobindo quotes, mind is not at all enough. Mind can't reach that point. Mind is unable because it is only surface mind that guesses. Sri Aurobindo quotes here, follow your soul and not your mind. Your soul that answers to the truth, not your mind that lives at appearances. Mind's principle is to look at the appearances, but the soul feels, soul understands, soul grows, soul understands what is the real position. So follow your soul, not your mind. Your soul that looks at the truth, your mind that looks at the appearances. Now we are going to the original topic. We have discussed the release of soul, soul's release from ignorance. After a long sadhana and a long journey, now thus came his soul's release from ignorance. Now the soul is now released, the opposite of release, it is coming, it is now bounded, it is encircled, it is covered, it is revealed by the outward ignorance. Ignorance veils itself. So soul is hidden. Soul is not released, it is concealed within. Sri Aurobindo quotes it, thus came his soul's release from the ignorance. his mind and body's fast spiritual change. So initial the change had started with the release of the soul from ignorance. When the soul is released from the ignorance that has hidden the soul, it is then starts the fast spiritual change of mind and life, mind and body. A wide God knowledge pours down from above. What is the feeling? How it happens here in the writes in brilliant lines, in the golden lines here in the quotes here. A wide God knowledge poured down from above. From above, that knowledge comes. God knowledge and wide God knowledge. Then second line, that knowledge also there. It is written in another. This knowledge is there. Initially, it was God knowledge. Then a new world knowledge broadened from within, from above and from within. From above, a wide God knowledge poured down. From within, a new world knowledge broadened from within. Then, what is the real change in life? His daily thoughts looked up to the true and one. Our daily thoughts, when we are encircled within the mind and life, this environment, it's the earthly embodiments, earthly environments, our daily works are only confined to the material grasp. But when the soul's release is there, and where there is the spiritual change, we can see his daily thoughts looked up to the true and the one. The true and the one, his daily thoughts looked up. His commonest doings swelled from an inner light. We are doing normally our commonest doings, it is confined to the outer light. Light is also small light. We are expecting, we are seeing what is that light. In the night there is no light, so our work is stopped, our life is ceases, almost ceases. His commonest doings wailed from an inner light, awakened to the lines that nature hides. Originally, the things that is hidden by nature capital N, that hides the lines, but after this release, getting the spiritual change, this awakening comes to the lines that nature hides, attuned to her movements that exceed our ken. Something is there, some movements is there, that awakening, attuning, it comes, and this awakening, attuned to the movements that exceed our ken, our limits, our ken, it exceeds, because we are not confined within this material confines, within this base matter, we are not confined. We have to see and we have to gaze upwards, we have to move upwards, we have to spin in the evolutionary higher path. Then what is the change in him? He grew one with the covered universe. Grew one with the covered universe. Universe before the change, before when we are confined to mind and life and body, these confinings make us within our limitations, within the limited range. But he grew one with the covered universe after this release. His grasp surprised her mightiest energy springs. His grasp surprised her mightiest energies ring springs. So this there is he is going beyond the grasp of nature. What has been done, what was actually confining them, he is actually eluding the grasp, he is going out. She spoke with the unknown guardians of the worlds. Now we are speaking here with this our kith and kin who are just staying near to us. But he spoke with the unknown guardians of the worlds, unknown guardians, capital G, of the worlds. Form she described our mortal eyes see not. Our eyes, its range is fixed. It is looks at only superficial sceneries. But form she described our mortal eyes see not. His wide eyes bodied viewless entities. His eyes had been grown immeasurable. It is crossing the limit, getting widened. Bodied the viewless entities. He, the cosmic forces at their work. Just imagine the cosmic forces doing their work. He could feel. But here we see only the people who are working there. Our kith are kin. They are staying near to us. Only human stops. And felt the occult impulse behind man's will. Occult impulse behind the man's will he could feel. Time's secrets were to him an oft-read book. So many secrets are there, but it is not visible to the naked eye of the ordinary person, but time's secrets were to him an oft-read book. The records of the future and the past outlined their excerpts on the etheric page. Records of the past and futures were outlined on the excerpts of the etheric page. He could see it, he could understand it, he could read it. Warned and harmonious by the maker's quill, the human in him paced with the divine. His human in him that was confined, it was actually elevated and paced with the divine. It got the pace. His acts betrayed not the interior flame. It became changed. Acts betrayed not the interior flame. This forged the greatness of his front to earth, a genius heightened in his body's cells, a genius heightened in his body's self that knew the meaning of his fate-hazard works. It could be known, he could understand, he could realize this, he could see the higher vision. His consciousness was elevated, then he was going the evolutionary journey towards a higher step, towards a great step. Akin to the march of unaccomplished power beyond life's arcs in spirit's immensities. Something was there that was felt to be too far, too unreachable, but now itself it is akin to the march of unaccomplished powers. Few powers were there, they were unaccomplished. This march of accomplished powers became akin. Beyond, where are they? Beyond life's arc in spirit's immensities. They are lasting, they are permanently staying beyond the spirit's immensities. Now they became akin, they were reachable, and they were also touchable near it. Apart he lived in mind's solitude. Apart, and lived in the mind's solitude, a demigod shaping the lives of men. He became the demigod who was there with a mission. He has come to change the lives of men, to appraise the fallen world, to change the earthly life to life divine, to bring heaven here. This was the heaven he has come to create a new world. So supramentalization, supermind, superman, transformation, perfection, these were the missions with which he was working. A demigod shaping the lives of men, one soul's ambition lifted up the race. Just imagine. Another time place it is written, one, even if the struggling world is left outside, one man's perfection still can save the world. So it was written. So here it is done. One soul's ambition lifted up the race, a power worked, but none knew whence it came. They all feel this power is coming, this is working. Demigod shaping the lives of men. One soul's ambition lifted up the race, but none knew whence it came, how it works, who was he. Because this is the human being staying inside the confines of ignorance. So when we have to get up, we have to see, we can see the conscious doll, little are conscious. A conscious doll is pushed 100 ways. It felt the touch, but not the hands that drive. They are unable, incapable to feel the push that is taking them out forward. The universal strengths were linked his strength was linked with the universal strengths. Filling our smallness with the boundless breadth. So smallness and boundless, they became one. They were hazard. They were getting united. He drew the energies that transmute an age. Just imagine what is the power he had. He drew the energies that transmute an age. He was drawing the power, that energies he was trying, that this energy was in charge, that can having the ability to transmute, that originally transmutes the age. Immeasurable by the common look, can't be measured with the common look. He made great dreams a mood for coming things. Mood for the coming things, he made great things, great dreams. Originally, he was not confined to the smallness. He made his dreams great. And cast his deeds like bronze to front the years. Deeds originally with the weapons that are falling on the ground. With that help, you can wage the great war or world war like this, or Kurukshetra Mahabharata. His walk through time outstripped the human stride. He crossed the limit. He crossed the human pace. He crossed the natural life. Lonely his days and splendid like the suns, like it is. He proceeded. Thank you.